Hello, everybody, and welcome to my Carolina Panther Roundup show here. We're going to do one of these every week. Hopefully, that's the goal for the 2022 to 23 season. Just going to go over once a week Panthers news and where we're at, where we stand. Obviously, right now it's August 3rd, so what is it, like 1 week into 2 weeks, maybe? A week and a half into training camp or summer camp, whatever it's called. And so far, nothing too wild's happened for Panthers. We have the four quarterback system we're running apparently with Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, PJ Walker, and our rookie Matt Corral. I keep wanting to say Trey Lance, but he's not a rookie and not on this team. So I'm gonna go over some thoughts of that here quickly, and then next week we'll kind of go over what I've heard, seen, and shown. Granted, all this stuff that I've heard, seen, and will be all stuff you can probably already seen through Twitter and so on and so forth. But it's nice to get somewhere where you can just go over it, and you guys can leave comments down below, and uh, I'll probably reply. I have a lot of free time, especially when I'm doing this. I'll be most of my days free, so I'll probably go through and reply and see kind of what the feeling of the team is. So let me start out by saying I'm very optimistic about this team generally. Obviously, I do get upset by certain things. For example, Sam Darnold's play last year, Cam Newton's play years ago. Yeah, everything you'd get upset about. I've been upset about with alongside other fans, I suppose. But for the most part, I like going into the season very optimistic. So, let's start out. Let's just go down the importance by position here. So we're gonna go with the quarterbacks first. I think final cuts are August 31st. I looked it up. I don't expect PJ Walker to be there, so we should just have Darnold, Baker, and Matt Corral. And honestly, if it wasn't for Darnold's contract, I don't know if they would keep three. They probably would keep three quarterbacks anyways, just in case. But I would like them to. I mean, obviously they're not going to, but I would like it to be just Baker and Corral, because based off training camps, I mean, you see some plays here and there, but see the net drill, and you see them throwing to the net, and it kind of gets you pumped up, even though it shows a level of accuracy, but it doesn't mean a whole lot realistically. So, but apparently Matt Corral's been doing well. So yeah, Baker's probably gonna be the starter. I would assume. I think everybody assumes, even with the quarterback competition, quote unquote, there's still gonna be Baker versus the Browns. And by sounds of it, Browns, with their whole Deshaun Watson situation, punishment could be pushed back here, and he might actually play the first week by the sounds of it. So who knows? Either way, that first week is going to be tough for whoever's quarterback, specifically if we move on to our next positions here, the O line. Obviously Taylor Moton, I think he's the certified right tackle. I don't really Corbet, Austin Corbet, however you say the last name. I haven't really heard anybody say it, so he's gonna be a starter for right guard, I assume. Center is probably gonna be Bozeman, if I had to guess. Left guard, I thought left guard would have been Brady Christensen. I think that's his name, but is that his name? I don't know if I'm thinking the right guy, but by the sounds of it, he's been playing a little more left tackle because Ike Ekwonu seems to have a little ways to go before he becomes our tackle. But hopefully, with the 3 weeks left or 4 weeks left of training camp, hopefully Ike can get some solidarity in that left tackle role, and hopefully he can be the start by week 1. If not, I have no idea who the left guard and left tackle are going to be. But depending on that, week 1, obviously, going against the Browns defensive line with Myles Garrett specifically, it's gonna be tough for whoever's lined up across him. So we might have a tough week 1, especially if Deshaun's still good and if he can play. That's gonna be a tough week 1 because without Deshaun, I think we that game out because I think that'll be a very defensive heavy game. I think a lot of the Panthers games will be very defensive heavy games. Just until we run into the buzzsaws like the Bills and stuff. But yeah. Anyways, let's move on to receivers. I think everybody knows DJ Moore to be. He's obviously receiver 1. Anderson's 2. I think everyone's kind of hoping and expecting Terrence. I think it's Terrence Marshall. For some reason, that sounds weird, but I think it's what it is. Everyone's expecting him or hoping at least that he can take a big step up this year. I think last year he got hurt and got a concussion at some point in the season, and I don't know how much he really played. I know Zylstra isn't running Team 2 reps, obviously, so he's not a bad little piece, but would like there to be a little more receiver depth, not so much at the bottom, more at the top, but there's really not anyone out there except for like OBJ. So really we're going to go with this, and hopefully Terrence can have a big game or big season at least, so we can have that receiver core, because he's under contract for, I forget how long his extension was, at least 2 years. More just got an extension, I think, this off season, so having that third solidified receiver would be incredible. My favorite position, I think, is the tight end right now. I hope Tommy Tremble he has a standout year, because I think based on Panthers history with Greg Olsen stuff, having 2 outlets in McCaffrey and a good tight end would make life for the quarterback that much easier, obviously, especially the way tight ends play this, like nowadays, receivers, blockers, and run blockers and so on, they do everything. So I'm hoping Tommy Tremble, he went to tight end U. I saw some clips on him there. I'm hoping he takes a big step up this year, and hopefully they just have him in the game plan more also, because I know you can't blame Terrence or Marshall. I'm going to call him Marshall because I'm not certain on that first name for some reason. Marshall, he got hurt last year. I don't remember how much he played after that or when that happened exactly. And Tommy or TT wasn't really a part of it much last year. I don't think he got that many targets, and he had very few receptions, so I hope he's a bigger part of it this coming year. And I think that as long as Baker plays well, I think that will make the game that much easier, because I think we do have, I'm not going to say a top tier offense, but definitely could be, top 15, top 10, which is, I think, would be good enough for most games, especially in our division. A lot of those teams are not great. We should get second. I'm still expecting the Panthers to get second, at least in that division. Maybe sneak into the playoffs. My prediction is that they're going to be right there in the battle for a wild card, unless everything goes downhill and we can't play football, of course. Then the floor is the bottom, I guess. I don't really know. 5 wins is probably the bottom, because that's what they've been getting the last few seasons. But I think chances are we'll end up 8-9. Maybe if we have a good season, 9 and 10. Well, 9-8. But if we get lucky, maybe sneak out a win against one of the better teams that we shouldn't be. Like, say, maybe we trade one with the Bucks, or maybe I think we play the Rams or the Bills. Maybe get a sneaky win somewhere in there. We might end up 10-8, or 10-7, and that should put us into a wild card spot at least. I think the Vikings will be very much in that same boat. My friends like the Vikings, so I always compare them kind of to where the Vikings would be, and I think the Vikings have the same kind of standard or goal, because their defense is not great. I think our defense is way better. So we can switch over to running backs. Obviously, you got McCaffrey, Hubbard, and forget the guys. I think it's Deontay Foreman. He's a good power back. I think he did well for the Titans. So, as long as McCaffrey doesn't go down, then I think we'll be good to go there in the run game. I think people are hoping Chuba takes a step up, because McCaffrey there's a good shot he goes down, because he has in the last couple of years. So hopefully Chuba's better. I guess I don't know what people are expecting from him, but hopefully Deontay Foreman and Chuba can at least have a good partnership if McCaffrey happens to go down. Hopefully not, obviously. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Let's move on to the defensive side of the ball. I think we got the offense covered. Um, Defensive side of the ball, top three corners, Jackson, Horn, and I guess I for I guess I kind of didn't realize who we had after uh, AJ Bouye and Gilmore were gone. I guess our third, which is kind of surprising to me, is CJ Henderson right now. But after that, I don't really know who we have. I know Keith Taylor. I think Keith Taylor might have picked up an injury early this week on Monday. I don't know what happened. I didn't really see. I try to watch the interviews whenever they come up. I just heard he got injured. Not sure what happened there exactly. I don't think he'll be out. I think he'll be back by the start of the season for sure. But um, I like that. I like that. I think some people have issues with that depth with the corners, but to me, as long as I think Bouye's still a free agent out there, and I liked him last year. I thought he made a lot of big plays, or made plays when he was on the field for us last year, and I'm kind of surprised they let him go, especially with Stephon leaving too. I figured they'd keep one. Um, I'm maybe not a known disliker, Jackson, but he got cooked a lot last year, especially towards the end of the season before he got injured, and I wasn't a big fan, so I was kind of hoping they let him go and keep Gilmore for. I know it would only be a year or two with Gilmore, but I like Gilmore in that aspect. But this is what we have, so I do like Horn a lot. I think he's gonna be a very good corner, as long as nothing continues to happen with his foot, because that was kind of a freak thing that happened last year, kind of no contact. Put his foot on the ground, broke it. It was just kind of weird, and he was playing very well up to that point. Unfortunately, that short week probably had something to do with it because it was a Thursday night game against the Texans. So we lost a lot that day. We lost McCaffrey and Horn, which arguably two biggest positions on both sides of the ball for us specifically. So middle linebackers, we got, I think it's Damian Wilson from Jacksonville. I don't know how good he is. I will probably end up watching some film over the next week so I can have some somewhat feedback and try to keep up with him a little more. I guess linebackers, we got Shaq Thompson. He was very good. Some reason, I don't know how you guys feel about this, but last year when he switched to the number 7 from, what was it, 54, he looked faster to me. He looked a lot better. Maybe it's just because he wasn't around Kuechly and stuff. Granted, I don't think, yeah, Kuechly's been out for a few years, but I don't know, something about the number 7 or just like the single number made him look faster. Maybe he just was playing better last year, which, I mean, he was, and then he got injured. I think at some point he was out for a bit, but he looked very good whenever I saw him on the field. So I do like that he's at least the veteran of the group of the defensive side of the ball. I don't know who else we have for my back. Oh, I guess you can. Frankie Louvre, who I absolutely adore. He made a few big plays for us last year. I think he had like a punt block and a couple of sacks here and there. Just plays that really brought a lot of momentum. He wasn't on the ball. He wasn't on the field a lot, I don't think, but when he was, it seemed like he made something happen every time. So I do like that they brought him back and are gonna give him a little bit more predominant role this year. By the sounds of it, I think he's gonna be more of an edge rusher, especially with the loss of Hassan Reddick. But I mean, I wish we kept Hassan. He's a very, you need somebody on the other side of Burns to really complement him, and I think Hassan did a phenomenal. I think he dropped 11 sacks last year. Burns had 8 or 7. So I think Frankie, I hope, just out of the big fan that I am of him specifically on that defense, I hope he has a standout year, and I hope he makes things happen. I don't know how long his extension was for. I think it was 2 years. But hopefully he can do something for us on that side of the ball and fill out that role that's gone because of Reddick. Let's see who we got. Safeties, Jeremy Chin. absolute dog. Obviously, I think he's a fan favorite. I don't know if anybody has any issues. I assume he has some improvement in certain things and whatnot, but he's for sure a lock for anybody starting lineup on the Panthers. I don't think anybody dislikes him. So I don't even know who our others say. Oh yeah, we just signed some. Is it? I'm gonna get this wrong. Xavier Woods or Xavier? I don't know if it's Woods or Rhodes. I think it's Woods. Either way, he was uh on the Vikings or the Cowboys just before this. I don't remember. I think it was. I don't remember. But I think he had a good season coming into that, so I think he'll bring some solidarity to that safety role. I don't remember who. I think we have Burris. I don't know if he's a starter or not. Um, but yeah, I don't really have much thoughts. There's really only two safeties out there, so as long as Chin's out there and Woods does well, I don't really have any complaints. So I think the bigger things would be if CJ Henderson can step up. When he came in to play last year, he got burned by, I think it was Amari Cooper. He didn't look great to start out, but hopefully he can, after a year, he did get kind of thrown in there kind of quick since we had some injuries once Horn went down. So hopefully this year with a full training camp and so on and so forth, he can really settle in and become that third. And hopefully there will be an argument of who is our second best cornerback, because I'm putting Horn up top of both of them, obviously, because I have high expectations for him, high hopes. And then the other two, hopefully it's 2A and 2B, but and then we got the defensive line. We'll just go Brian Burns, obviously. He's very good, very, very good. He's playing under the franchise tag this year. He'll get a big, hopefully a big contract for us next year. What we got? Derek Brown. I think people are hoping that he improves because we do need to get some run game. I think run game has been the Panthers' weakness for a while. So hopefully Derek Brown can really come into his own. It's that time for him where he needs to be good, or they need to start looking elsewhere. So we'll see how that goes. Iodonis, I forgot his name. It's like IOAD. I don't really know how good he is, to be quite honest. I haven't really watched him play too much, or haven't really noticed, but I assume he's good. We can hope that, as long as they can try to get the run game stopped, I won't have any complaints. But my biggest question for this D line, obviously, whoever's going to line up on the other side of Burns, whether it's Frankie Louvre on plays, or if it's going to be Gross Matos, who is also at that point where he needs to have a good year, or else, it's probably time to move on, because I don't know I think it was the second round, so I don't know. I guess he doesn't have an option, so I think it's him and Derek Brown. They need to figure out what they really have in those two this year, and if they don't show promise anymore, then I think it's time to move on, and that's unfortunate, because I'm hoping Matos at least has a big year, just because I think Matos having a big year would make Brian Burns that much better. So that's my only question on that defense is Derek Brown and Gross Matos, see what they can do, and hopefully they can step up and show some real progression and have solid seasons this year in stopping the run and pass rushing with Gross Matos. Special teams, I think our special teams are pretty solid. I don't have any complaints. Zane Gonzalez, we got from the Cardinals. When he was on the Cardinals, I trash talked him all the time because he missed like a 40-something yard field goal short. So it was a lot of does he even have the leg for it? But obviously, my other friend likes the Cardinals, so that's why I would bag on him a lot. But since he came in, he's been pretty consistent. I haven't seen anything too bad from him. So yeah, I don't see the inconsistency from him that everybody saw, I guess, in Joey Sly, where he definitely had a leg. He has plenty of leg to make it from anywhere, but just not the consistency to get it through the goalpost every time. So I think he's a Texan now, Joey Sly. I don't remember where I saw him last, but And then obviously I think it's Johnny Hecker. I don't remember if his first name's Johnny, but Hecker, veteran punter. I think he came from the Rams too, didn't he? I don't remember. I know him and Austin Corbett. I think they both came from the Rams. I know Corbett did for sure. Um, so yeah, I'm expecting a lot of good things. Maybe not great, but if the Panthers can maybe edge out a 10-win season at most, low end 7. I'm keeping them in between that range. I feel very confident about that because I don't think in their division, I think they could sweep the Saints and the Falcons because I don't think either of those teams are necessarily better. Could they get hot? Sure, but I don't think they're going to be consistently better. I don't remember at what point we play them. So really, if we play them in the back half of the season, I think by the first 5-6 games, you can kind of see the trajectory of your team. So I mean, we'll see. We'll see if I'm not too worried about those two teams. Though obviously, if we can take one game off Tampa, that'd be phenomenal. Which I think we could, but we'll see. I don't remember when we play them either. If we play them back half, I think we for sure could, especially if we're in like if we have a chance to get a wild card game. But we'll see how that goes. But either way, based off this early first week and a half or so of the training camp, nothing bad really. I think obviously though, I think there's one injury to Keith Taylor. I don't know what it was. I don't think it was too grave. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. The only downside was hearing that Icky probably has a ways to go yet. And then obviously at some point they're gonna cut PJ Walker by the 30th, so that's gonna happen. There's no reason to keep it around. You already have 3 quarterbacks, and you're paying 2 of them. I mean, 2 of them are getting paid around the same amount. 19 and 15 mil. I mean, not all by the Panthers, but they're about the same worth. So, but I guess by sounds of it though, Matt Corral's kind of been a little bit surprising. He's been actually pretty solid, so who knows? Maybe something happens. Grant, I don't think he has a shot at playing this year unless Baker and Darnold go down, but I think now. Alright, so a quick edit. Looks like my last audio got cut off at around 22 minutes, so let me just finish this off separately. My final question to you guys is, what are your 2 questions on the team, 2 concerns? Let's go 1 offense, 1 defense. Mine were, I'll go with Derek Brown over Gross Matos, sorry. I will have questions about him, and my second would be Ike Ekwonu if he's going to be our starting tackle by week 1. So that's mine. Let me know what your guys' question about this team. Let's go 1 offense, 1 defense, just so I can have some kind of structure to this. And yeah, we'll go over that next week. Hope you guys enjoy this, and yeah, come back next Wednesday more than likely. We should get some progress on this show. So yeah, thank you.